So on the whole, we're closing in on 200 years of Iguanodon research, and there's still a number of unknowns, one of which is just what in the world happened at Bernissart to produce between 23 and 40 Iguanodon, all preserved in a big old bone bed. Workers have generally agreed that this is not a single mass death event. The carcasses are piled on top of each other in such a way that it's clear that some died and sank down in before the next group. This is referred to as attritional deposition. The animals sink down into the sinkhole. It acts like a giant funnel. And once they're down in there, they're protected from the subsequent erosion that took away all of the rock from the same age in that area. But was the sinkhole collecting Iguanodon that had died for some other reason, or was it itself the cause of death? We know quite a bit about this paleo environment. I've never seen a map of a paleo environment before, but they constructed one. It's a valley with oxbow lakes and rivers running through it, and the Bernissart site specifically was a sinkhole in sort of a swampy lake. Aha, a swamp. So the animals might have gotten stuck in the mud. It's called mired. Well, the remains are not consistent with animals that died by miring. It actually takes a long time for an animal to sink in mud. They don't drown. They usually die of exhaustion or even starvation. And they would be preserved, at least some of them, with their feet pointed down. Whereas these animals are preserved in the common death pose, where their heads are rolled back over their backs. Also, if they had been slowly sinking in mud, they would have been picked at. The animals would have scavenged them, and at the very least, their bones would have weathered and cracked before they finally submerged, whereas these animals were buried swiftly and preserved exquisitely, which means that they were not exposed to the elements before being washed down into this sinkhole. Now, remember how the bones in Bernissart are somewhat tragically pyritized? Pyrite is an iron sulfide. So as geothermal brines rose up, they could have fed cyanobacterial mats forming in these waters, which in turn could have produced gas clouds of hydrogen sulfide. So either by drinking the water or just by breathing near the water, Iguanodon, whole herds of Iguanodon, could have become intoxicated and subsequently drowned, which would be pretty ironic because it would mean that the same sulfides that originally killed these animals are like back to finish the job and degrade their bones into dust to this day.